Hi folks, I'm meteorologist Tom Kvika with you a little bit earlier for today. Nick Mikulas is back on his way, so he's going to handle the evening regular weather update. Otherwise, I'm going to focus on the tropics because, the season begins in the Atlantic Basin on June 1st, but in practicality, it's beginning today with the first system of interest designated in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. First area of interest, tropical interest there. We see a lot of cloudiness. This is the infrared, where we're seeing some high cloud tops, either heavy showers and thunderstorms, which are off the coast of Florida there. So there's a broad area of surface low pressure in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and that kind of a linear band kind of extends northeastward into the Atlantic off the eastern seaboard. And so with that kind of pattern, that kind of leads you to believe that that might be a little bit of a frontal influence there where that area of interest has developed. All right, look at the Saharan dust model. This is going to be something we're going to be watching because this dust, it will inhibit many times tropical formation in the main development region, which is this region right here, this belt kind of along the monsoonal trough and the ITCZ. For now, we're seeing kind of pulses of high dust concentration in that area. So we're hopefully, and it's early in the year for those kind of storms anyway. Let's go back into the tropical moisture. A really deep moisture lingers here across the eastern Gulf of Mexico. It's kind of snuck in from the south across the Caribbean Sea. And again, this deep moisture is one of those factors in the environment that tropical systems like. They have an affinity for the moisture. And so, and Florida's going to get a lot of rain from this. The sea surface temperatures are warming up. 80 degrees is a benchmark because one of the main energy sources for tropical systems is what's called the latent heat of condensation. When air changes phase from water vapor to liquid water, formation of clouds, then energy is released. And if the energy source, the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, or Atlantic Ocean, if those temperatures are below 80 degrees, then it's really hard to have enough energy to drive a full-blown tropical system. So, yeah, it's already warm enough in the Gulf and surrounding areas, as you see I'm seeing 80 to 85 across much of that area already. So, tropical area of interest, the first one designated by NHC this year so far off the east coast of the United States there, across the Carolinas for the most part. And that is a less than 40% chance of tropical cyclone development. Now here are your tropical models from that system. This has been designated AL90, and you see most of this takes it across Florida, which is going to have an impact. Well, it may not be a named storm as it comes to Florida, but it's definitely going to be a wet system because there's several days of locally heavy rainfall that's going to fall, and it's going to accumulate. And I think 10 to 15 inches could fall in places of South Florida before this thing is out of the way and moves off toward the northeast off the east coast. And this, once it gets into that environment, it'll be going over the Gulf Stream, which is that warm water current that kind of moves something like this offshore. And so once it gets over that, it may have a chance to redevelop into something. So again, that's why NHC is indicating that. We also look for the Eastern Pacific perhaps to get active with tropical cyclone or some kind of weather disturbance there within the next week. And so you got the Eastern Pacific now, you got that system in the Gulf, which is going to go across land. It won't develop over Florida. It has a chance, though, once it gets clear of Florida and off the southeast coast of the United States. So the bottom line of all this I'm saying is the first suspect area, so in practicality, we have begun the season, AL90. The Eastern Pacific, that's EPAC, to become more active with possible disturbance there within a week that could develop into something. And hey, Florida gets wet. 10 to 15 inches of rain may fall, again, as I said, across portions of South Florida. For SINLA, well, we can just sit back and watch for now. All right, thanks for being with me, and we'll continue to keep you updated. Again,